Oh, Konami have done it again. They've gone and made a set of games that reeks, absolutely stinks of please like us again. Please respect us again. Here are all the old games that you used to like, or that you still like when you used to like us. Here they are. Please love us again. Fuck off! I fell out with Konami after the whole Metal Gear Solid 5 Kojima fiasco. It was more or less a principle that I don't buy new IPs from Konami, and this has me very conflicted because it's not a new IP, really. It's them tackingly celebrating their 50th anniversary. Aye, celebrating their 50th anniversary in existence. But as far as I'm concerned, the Konami that I respected died before they turned 50. Konami just recently announced that they are bringing back some old classic games for the Nintendo Switch, PS4, Xbox One, and PC. And those games are in the form of a load of arcade games that they made back in the day, and they're releasing that in April, if I'm not mistaken. I think I could be wrong. I think it's April. They also said that they're releasing the Castlevania collection and the Contra collection during the summer. And I think this is tacky, cheap, and manipulative. I think what Konami are doing here is they are manipulating and they're moulding the opinion of their fan base, or their former fan base at least, and saying, look, we still do games, please like us again. And I think that is the biggest tripe of rubbish I've ever heard. I mean, you look at this and you think Konami can do no wrong. Konami are still in the gaming industry. Look, they're not just doing pachinko machines, and I suppose Konami have been doing pachinko machines for a long time. But you have to remember that they announced themselves that they were going to get out of making video games and get into the pachinko business and mobile game industry. That's scummy. And not only that, is they cut all ties with Hideo Kojima by effectively firing him immediately. And what they also did is that they refused to allow him to be on stage to collect an award that he rightfully fucking deserved. It's annoying. It's annoying that some of my favourite games of all time, the Metal Gear franchise, is made and owned by a scumbag company such as Konami. And it bugs me that my new love for the Castlevania franchise is somewhat diminished, somewhat in vain, because they were made by a now scumbag company. The last game that I recall them bringing out was Super Bomberman R, which is a mediocre Bomberman game for a start, and it was the first Bomberman game they made in about 10, 11 years. And they brought out a remaster of Zone of the Enders. I think it was the second one. I can't remember. But they brought out a Zone of the Enders game and remastered it. Again, made by Kojima. And they had the gall to make Metal Gear Survive. And they made a couple of other Japanese games that they didn't release here. And then you've got the Pro Evolution Soccer series. The only series I really have any feeble interest of. I mean, I still like Pro Evolution Soccer, but not nearly as much as I used to back in the day. And I tell you, do you know what? I said a couple of months ago, not on here, on social media somewhere, that I have lost all respect for EA because of their money-hungry, manky fucking gambling practices with FIFA Ultimate Team and Madden Ultimate Team and NHL Ultimate Team, or if they're doing that. And like, do you know what? I think I originally said that Konami was a lesser of two evils, but I'm actually going to go back on that and say at least EA are still in the gaming business, they're still in the gaming industry, and are still at the forefront pumping out video games. at least they're still doing that. Their business practices might not be the best, but they are still bringing out games, and the games themselves, in gameplay alone, are good, are decent, are fun to play. And yes, the games that Konami release are also fun to play to an extent, but they don't care about making video games as much as EA do. And I say that very lightly. And I think it's a lot of garbage that a couple of years ago we were all saying hashtag fuck Konami. Do you remember that? Do you remember this? Hashtag fuck Konami. We were saying all that years ago. Some people are still saying it. And now those same people are like, oh, they're making Castlevania and Contra coming on the Switch and whatever. Oh, I love Konami now. This is really frustrating because you are shooting yourself in the foot by being a hypocrite. And I suppose I am a bit of a hypocrite myself. I don't know if you can see this, but yeah, whatever. Shoot me. You can see that yourself. You see that? Yeah, I do own the Castlevania Requiem collection, but I've also heard that even though those games are good, but they had the cheek to release the version of Symphony of the Night with the redone voice acting, which nobody liked and nobody wanted. People prefer the old corny voice acting, but that's a minuscule complaint. But what they also did was that they made the collection bare bones at best. There's nothing to it. There's no artwork to look at, as far as I'm aware. There's no extras to look at. There's no developer documentary footage or anything like that. I mean, do you know what I'm saying? There's not. Do you mind? This is all you get, and I know you can see this. This is all you get, and it's bare bones. You turn on Castlevania Rondo of Blood, and immediately the game begins, and that's fine. If you want to, if you're the type that just wants to play the game, there you go, right there. It's fine. The games play fine, but it's the tackiness of it. It's the fact that they've just stuck it on there and, you know, padded it in, and it's like, okay, just give them that. It'll shut them up. And then there's, I kind of want to play that. Go away. It just reeks of tacky. Just give them it. It'll shut them up. That's what that stinks of to me. And then this collection, this 50th anniversary collection, is also piss as well. I mean, it looks like they're putting in a little bit more effort with it, but how far will it go? I am willing to give them the benefit of the doubt at the very least. But it's like, God, I don't know. It's like, it feels like people want to just forget what they did to their employees, to their consumers, to Kojima, and they just want to say, please forget about what we did, and look, remember Contra, remember Castlevania, remember all these games, you remember them, these are good games, you remember those? Fuck off! Fuck off! Go away! Piss off! That's ridiculous. And I think it's bogus as well that they bring out Castlevania and Contra. There's plenty of other games they could have re-released, like Silent Hill, properly. Again, Zone of the Enders. Suikoden? Is it Suikoden or Suikoden or Suikoden? Cannot pronounce it. I've never played them before, but apparently those games are pretty good. Apparently there is a new one in the works. Maybe that will get people into the good graces of Konami, or Konami into the good graces of fans. But it stinks of please like us again like you used to. That's what it smells of, and that's what I don't like about this announcement. It's what I don't like about this collection, because I feel like I'm being manipulated into buying these games. I know I don't have to buy them. I have Symphony of the Night and Rondo of Blood. And I have Castlevania 1, 2, and 3 on my NES Mini. Yes, I stuck Castlevania 3 on that because it wasn't available. Fucking shoot me, I don't care. And I have Castlevania 4 on the Super Nintendo Mini, which is a fantastic console, by the way. I absolutely love this. My point is, I've got plenty of Castlevania games to already play. It's going to take a lot more than, please buy this collection because you used to like these games. Please buy this collection and like us again. Because look, do you remember Contra? Look, on the arcade bit, we've got Haunted House, or Haunted Castle, or whatever the fuck it's called. Basically an arcade precursor to Castlevania. That's what Haunted House is. Or Haunted Castle. What's it called? Haunted Castle. I'm not happy that they're coming out and doing this and people are all of a sudden saying Konami are brilliant again. Yes, this is Konami's redemption story. No, Konami's redemption story will be if they go back into the gaming industry full force, full time, and start making new IPs and brand new games. This is not the beginning of their redemption arc, because if you want to argue that's the beginning of the redemption arc, then you could go all the way back to that Castlevania collection, which, by the way, apart from the games themselves being good to play, shit collection. Shite collection. They could have done more with this collection than just pumping out 2 franchises and a handful of other games from the arcades. They made more games than that, and they know they did. At the very least, at least some of these games will be available on Switch, because some of them are not. Like Castlevania 4. Like Symphony of the Night, like Rondo of Blood, if they get added to the list. At the moment, there's only 4 games from the Castlevania series and from the Contra series that are announced. There's another 4 games to be included. It's annoying that everyone's giving them the praises that they think they deserve when they really don't. And people seem to have forgotten the whole fuck Konami movement that happened 2 or 3 years ago. And I think it's a lot of shite that people seem to have forgotten about that. And I feel like I'm one of the very few minority, and I probably am, that still think that Konami are scumbags. And I know I've said so many times that EA are scumbags, and they are scumbags. And I used to say that Konami were the lesser of 2 evils, but you know what? I'm saying it right here, right? Konami is not the lesser of the 2 evils. It's EA that's the lesser of the 2 evils, because the only thing that pisses me off about EA is their abundance of focus on microtransactions and gambling mechanics thrown into their games. The games themselves aren't that bad, and the games that Konami makes aren't that bad, but they don't care about the video game industry as much as EA does, if any of them do. If any of them do, EA is just a little bit up there. And I have to say, I do buy EA games more than I buy Konami games. They have a vast library of games that I do enjoy, such as the Dead Space franchise, the FIFA franchise, reluctantly the FIFA franchise, the Battlefield franchise, Mass Effect. Those games are, well, those games go down in history, especially Mass Effect and Dead Space. Those were good games. And there's so many other EA games that are just brilliant, such as, well, I've got too many games to go through, so I can't really see them off the top of my head. Unravel. I know it's not made by EA, it's published by EA, but they do have that independent game EA Indies, whatever it's called. EA might have shoddy business practices in regards to their microtransactions, but at least they're still in the gaming industry full force. And Konami, your games are good, but your attitude stinks. Absolutely stinks. And as it stands, I am not diving into this anniversary collection because, like I said, you died before you reached 50. And I am not going into that because, apart from the arcade classics, which is, believe it or not, the only thing that's enticing me, the only thing is I don't care that much for the Contra and Castlevania collection, apart from a few games that I maybe never got to play, like a few of the DS a few of the DS Castlevania games, and all those handheld Castlevania or Contra games. I never got to play them, and I suppose it would be nice to play them on the Switch, but I already have an abundance of them on my Super Nintendo and NES Classic and the PS4. I don't need to get this collection, and I will stand by my ground and say I refuse to give Konami fresh money for this shit when they treated their employees and their consumers like even more shit. You gotta do a little bit more than that to get our good graces, at least mine. Who knows? My opinion might change within the next couple of months. But whatever. If you think I'm wrong, leave a comment. If you think I'm right, leave a comment. I'm probably not. This is just an opinion. I still think they're scumbags. They've done nothing worthwhile in the last couple of years. This is not going to make me change my mind. You don't just... let's just put this into a different perspective, a perspective that doesn't fucking exist. Let's say you didn't fuck over Kojima. Let's say Metal Gear Solid 5 was better than what it already was. It was fine, it was good. No, do you know what? Metal Gear Solid 5 is brilliant. It's the story bits near the end that were a little bit fucked up because you sacked Kojima, right? Let's say you didn't sack Kojima. Let's say that Metal Gear Solid 5 was completely done and it was perfect and it completely... It brought the whole series full circle perfectly. Let's just say that happened, right? Let's just say you didn't drop the gaming industry and go off and do pachinko machines and make more money on other things that you had no right making money on. Like Metal Gear Survive and Metal Gear Solid 3 pachinko machines. You had no right making money on them, but I digress. Let's just say that none of that shit happened, and let's just say that you were still in the good graces of all these consumers and and you didn't treat your employees like shit, and we still enjoyed your games and you were still making new games. Let's say that happened. Here is your 50th anniversary. You could have put out so much more than this. You've got so much more than just Castlevania. You've got so much more than just Contra. You've got so much more than those select arcade games. You have so much more than that. You have Silent Hill. You have Zone of the Enders. You have so much. You could have completed Silent Hills, the one that was going to be made from PT. You could have finished that. You could have been halfway done by now, maybe. You could have brought out an epic collection of games. This is a fine collection of games, but it's not anywhere near what you could have fucking done. Look at the fucking state of you, Konami. And that's what annoys me, is that you fuck off away from the industry for so long, and then you come back and you make these little games like Bomberman, and you re-release Zone of the Enders 2, remaster it, whatever you did. You bring out another Pro Evolution Soccer game, which you do every year anyway. you do all these little things, these little projects, these little games, these little remasters, and then you bring out this little anniversary collection that's got a handful of 2 franchises, which I guarantee that it's going to have 4 to 8 games on each franchise. I bet you one game is going to be not there, and it's going to piss off a lot of people. And you're going to do that, and you could have done so much more had you have not fucked up your audience, had you have not fucked up your employees, had you have not done any of that shit. This anniversary collection could have been fantastically huge. 50 years is a milestone above milestones. It's a huge accomplishment. And the only thing you're going to do about that is release this. Do you know why you're only doing this? Because you know. In the words of Angry Joe, you done fucked it up. And in the words of Gamer Boy, Konami, go fuck yourself. Thanks very much for watching this episode of Just Rant. Again, like I said in the last rant video, I'm not that angry. Not even that pissed off, it's just annoying. But this is the best way to vent all frustrations, I believe. Rather than... Like, you wouldn't see me going into work in any personal environment and doing this in real life. I don't do this in real life, it's just for the camera. So, whatever anger you see, it's just for the camera, it's just an act, it's just for fun. And I know I said that I wouldn't do another one of these videos, but that's really annoyed me. And I know I said that I wouldn't go on camera, and lo and behold, I'm on camera again. I just found a convenient way to place the phone on top of something. You won't believe what it's sitting on. It's sitting on top of that. See that box? That's what my phone is sitting on top of. That's how tacky I am when it comes to my equipment. The least tacky thing I have is the microphone. But with that said, thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I wanted to make a current video, a video about something that is in the conversation currently, because I focus more on making old game videos, and it's kind of ironic that the one time I actually want to do a current video about something that is currently being talked about and in the conversation, it's about a company bringing out old games in order to get our good graces, as far as I'm concerned, and I think that is a very shoddy and tacky way of doing things. But with that said, thanks very much for watching. If you want to argue a point to defend Konami for this, then by all means put it in the comments. I would love to have a conversation about it. If you think that I'm being over-exaggerating, if you think I'm being a little bit overboard with the anger towards Konami, say it to me. Give me some feedback. I'll take any adult conversation regarding this. I think it's brilliant that I get to do this kind of thing, but it's a shame that I don't really get much conversation out of it. But yeah, with that said, thanks very much for watching. Feedback is more than welcome. And if you want to see more, you can check out my channel, and if you want to do anything else about it, you know what to do. Like, bell, subscribe, whatever. Yeah, I guess that'll do for this episode of Just Rant. I know I said I wouldn't do one, but here we are. Thanks again for watching. This has been Gamerboy talking to you on GB Gaming, where video games come first. Thanks again, and I'll see you whenever I see you. Cheerio. Fuck you, Konami. Fuck you.